It all started when Sam was a kid. Obsessed with games, she dreamed of being a hero in pixelated worlds. This passion fueled her through a computer science degree. She sacrificed her entire social life to build her debut game, Ruminate. Exhausted but hopeful, she finally uploaded her masterpiece to the indie platform. Ratings started high, and Sam's hopes soared. Then, her phone blew up. Thousands of notifications flooded in instantly. The smile froze on her face. It was a hate raid. The culprit was Marshall, a top streamer. He ignored the tutorial, played terribly, got slaughtered, and then loudly blamed the game design for his incompetence. He delivered a toxic verdict to millions: unplayable. He casually mentioned moving house, completely unaware his careless words had just destroyed someone's livelihood. The fan mob was brutal. Ruminate tanked to a 0.3 score, and her developer account was banned for suspicious activity. Her career ended before it even began. Desperate for a reset, Sam moved into a new apartment. But even her dog, Bowser, seemed against her, dragging her headfirst into the chaos of this new chapter. Curious about her new neighbor, Sam stepped into the hall only to be physically crit-hit by a fragile box falling straight onto her head. Her glasses went flying. Through the blur, the apologizing voice sounded damningly familiar. Sam's stomach dropped. She had a very bad feeling about this. Fate has a twisted sense of humor. It was Marshall. He clearly didn't recognize his victim, standing there innocently asking if she was okay. If only life had a reload button. Unfortunately, this is reality, and Chapter 2 just started on hard mode. Frozen in the hallway, the tension was thicker than a laggy server. Marshall looked confused, while Sam stood sweating, praying this was just a nightmare. Sam tried to flee but fumbled, dropping her glasses again. Marshall reached out to help, but Bowser erupted, lunging forward like a chaotic guardian. 1 second Bowser was growling, the next he was melting under Marshall's pets. The betrayal was instant. Sam watched in disbelief as her dog switched sides. Sam snatched her dog back. When Marshall introduced himself, she cut him off coldly. "I know who you are," reciting his streamer stats with bitter precision. Marshall thought he met a fan, until Sam dropped the bomb. "She's the dev." She tore into him for skipping the tutorial and trashing her game like an amateur. When Marshall claimed he gave her free exposure, Sam snapped. She threatened to sue him if he touched her game again and stormed off, leaving him stunned. Venting felt good, but the mess remained. Sam arrived at her coffee shop job, looking completely dead inside. The grind doesn't stop. Coworker Link was puzzled over missing toilet paper, but Sam just stood there clutching her dog, wishing she could log off from existence. She spilled the truth. One video got her banned, and appeals were ignored. It wasn't just a bad review. Her entire career had been nuked. Colleagues comfort Sam, but suddenly her besties crash the cafe. Their caffeine craving vanishes the moment they see Sam's puffy eyes. Instant rage mode. "Who made you cry? We're kicking ass." Seeing Sam broken, the girls switch from rage to comfort, wrapping her in a warm hug. They take her outside for fresh air, settling on a bench to let Sam breathe and vent. Angela wants a fight, but Vicky drops a cold truth. It's the mob of fans doing the damage. Sam checks her phone, zeros everywhere. The doubt creeps in. Maybe he's right. Maybe my game is trash. The stress triggers an asthma attack. Sam wheezes and grabs her inhaler. As her breathing stabilizes, her friends cut through the apology with fierce loyalty. "Marshall is wrong. Your game is a masterpiece." The mood lightens with jokes, but when they offer to confront Marshall directly, Sam shuts it down. She stiffens, eyes hardening with reluctant resolve. She has to handle this nightmare herself. Walking home alone, Sam runs into the worst luck. Random guys laughing about Marshall's video, trashing her game. She forces a cold, sarcastic smile and agrees with them, dying inside. The cover shows Marshall looming with a key while Sam looks trapped. The dynamic is set. He holds the power, and she's just trying to survive. Sam lies to Angela on the phone, saying she hasn't seen him. But the flashback reveals the truth. A panicked stealth mission to hand him a box cutter, followed by slamming the door and sprinting away like a fugitive. "It's like a survival horror game," she stammers. Suddenly, a knock at the door sends her into full panic mode. Heart pounding, she freezes, dreading who might be on the other side. Relief washes over her as she opens the door. It's just the landlady, Mrs. Whipple. She exhales, shaking, safe for now, or so she thinks. Mrs. Whipple beams. "Let's go welcome your new neighbor." Sam's soul leaves her body. She can't explain the bad blood, so she's trapped in a forced social call. Sam stammers every excuse in the book laundry, cleaning, but Mrs. Whipple drags her along anyway. The door opens, revealing a tired Marshall, while Sam tries to make herself invisible behind the landlady. Marshall puts on a polite mask for the landlady. He turns to Sam for a formal introduction. While she plays along, her inner self is screaming, holding up a giant shield labeled "Personal Space." Forced to shake hands, the tension is unbearable. Sam flinches at the heat of his palm, while Marshall sweats bullets. It's an agonizing moment of mutual awkwardness under the landlady's beaming gaze. Marshall notices the gamer calluses on her hand, breaking the ice instantly. World of Warquest. The tension evaporates as they geek out over raids and guilds. For a second, they aren't enemies, just two nerds bonding. Sam freezes, horrified that she just fangirled over her nemesis. Mrs. Whipple tries to herd them inside, but Marshall panics, blocking the way with a desperate, "Wait! It's a disaster in there!" Too late. Mrs. Whipple's eyes lock onto the open moving boxes labeled "Lube, Ball Gag," and "Anal Dilator." She gasps in horror. Marshall dies 1,000 deaths as the game over vibe hits the room. Back in the safety of her room, Sam blows off steam with a perfect gaming victory. Exhausted but relieved, she collapses onto her bed with her plushie finally alone. She cuddles her cat, thanking him for being her emotional support. But her mind drifts back to Marshall's deep voice. She shakes it off, distracting herself by unpacking a delivery box. Back at the neighbors, Marshall is frantically explaining the labels are a prank by his friends. Mrs. Whipple giggles at the vulgar joke and drags Sam away. Seeing the streamer panic is oddly satisfying. Marshall tries to break the ice with food, but unboxes something questionable. Sam's eyes go wide. Total awkwardness ensues. Door slams in his face. Marshall is confused. Inside, guilt creeps in, and Sam finds herself peeking at his stream. Late night hate watching backfires. A jump scare sends Sam flying. It's 3 a.m., and she's still hooked. The price of that late night marathon? Sam wakes up looking like a zombie, barely functioning. Life is an RPG. Smash alarm, shower for stats, acquire coffee potion. Sam drags herself through the commute quest. Snake manager Charles pounces immediately. Seeing she's exhausted, he smiles. Perfect time to ask for a favor. The favor is making coffee. Classic. Suddenly, a coworker bursts in gossip about a pro gamer visiting, shakes up the office. Charles brags about his gaming rank until a meeting saves Sam. Time for business. A new, heavy medical project launches. Task distribution reveals the hierarchy. The intern gets the glory work. Sam? Stuck with mind-numbing data entry. Again. Trouble. The COK dad summons Sam immediately. She walks the green mile under everyone's suspicious gaze. She steps into the lion's den. Dad is being extra dramatic, posing by her mom's portrait like a tragic hero. She tries to keep it professional, but Dad snaps. He bursts into tears, heartbroken that his little girl is distant. He wails like a widower. Sam has to shout, "Mom's not dead, she's just filming a commercial in Florida." So dramatic. Awkwardly, the ad is for ED pills. Dad watches it on loop and begs Sam to call Mom. The cringe is unbearable. Sam stages a fake call to Mom just to calm him down. It works. She escapes the office, emotionally drained. Back at the desks, rage erupts. A coworker confronts Charles. Why does the rich intern get the real work? The injustice stings. Chaos reigns. The team is mismatched and angry. Sam tries to focus, but panic strikes. Her files have vanished. While the office fights, a silent tech crisis seems to be brewing in the background. Typical intro. Office banter continues, but night falls, signaling the story is about to move forward. At the cafe, a blushing barista tries to make a move. Sam, completely missing the hint, just talks about coding all night. He tries asking her out for a movie, but Sam chooses her while guild raid instead. His coworker tries to help, but Sam shuts that down too. Total strikeout. As Sam leaves, the baristas sigh that she never dates anyone. The blonde guy stares at the door, heartbroken, but still hoping for a chance. Late at night, anxiety about her band account creeps in. Sam shakes it off, forcing herself to focus and code before bed. While worrying about game art, she chokes on her coffee and sprays it all over the keyboard. Instant blue screen of death. What a disaster! Keyboard fried, patience gone. Sam loses it, blaming everything but herself, and storms toward the door looking for a fight. At the door, her social anxiety kicks in. She debates calling the cops, but decides to face him or at least leave a note. Meanwhile, her neighbor is cooking. The big guy hears a noise and finds an angry note. "You're too loud!" He's confused, while Sam has likely already fled the scene in panic. Chapter 9 kicks off. Back in the kitchen, the big guy sips water, looking thoughtful and slightly suspicious. Next morning, Sam wakes up surprised she actually slept well. The silence from next door is so unusual it's almost suspicious. Bowser shredded a note from under the door. Sam pieces it together and freezes it from the neighbor promising soundproofing. He knows it was her. In reality, he sent that note to the whole building, but paranoid Sam thinks she's busted. Back at the office, she tries to focus on GUI design with Jacob. Jacob might be a joker, but he's serious about accessibility. He points out a colorblindness issue in the design, leaving Sam genuinely impressed by his expertise. Turns out Jacob studied this for his colorblind brother. Work wraps up, and Sam's phone pings a guild summons. Pizza night, mandatory attendance or DKP loss. Across the city, phones light up. Whether doing yoga, drumming, or putting on makeup, the guild members all get the same mandatory summons. Chapter 10 starts. Sam stares at her phone, confused. This sudden meetup throws a wrench in her quiet evening plans. The next evening, everyone gets ready. Sam checks her mailbox, grumbling about junk mail, when a raspy voice behind her says, "Excuse me." She spins around. It's the neighbor. Sam freezes, screaming internally, face burning red. The big guy looks awkward and apologizes for startling her. He looks wrecked, explaining he just finished a 12-hour charity stream. Sam bluntly tells him he looks terrible. Surprisingly, he just laughs, appreciating her brutal honesty. Marshall is still figuring out soundproofing when Sam awkwardly asks about the note. He's totally clueless it was her. He casually suggests just knocking next time, making Sam blush furiously. Social interaction isn't that simple for her. Suddenly, Marshall checks his phone and panics. He's late for the guild meeting. Cut to the streets, someone sprinting, terrified of losing DKP. Outside, Frankie spaz bears. Sam checks her phone until a noise catches her attention. Here, her gamer stats are revealed. She's Ariadne, a feral mage known for focus and reflexes. Her besties arrive. Angela is a die-hard tank, while Vicky is a team-focused monk. Just as they ask Sam about the marshmallow neighbor situation, a motorcycle screams past them, interrupting the conversation with a deafening roar. The biker, Dallas, skids to a halt and whips off his helmet with a wild grin, thinking he's smooth. He's the guild's rogue, high on dexterity, but low on charm. The girls completely ignore him, leaving him shouting for attention. Suddenly, a black limo pulls up. The driver, Edgar, steps out with elegant precision to open the door. Out steps Olivia, a blonde princess in a frilly dress with a pink umbrella and a bunny plush, turning the street corner into a scene of aristocracy. Olivia might be the healer, but she's got a temper. When Dallas mocks her, creepy doll vibe, her expression turns icy. Angela immediately clamps a hand over his mouth. Rule number 1 of MMOs. Never, ever piss off your healer. Cut to a game flashback. Dallas is lying in a pool of blood, screaming for a heal. Olivia, his healer, just smiles sweetly and lets him rot. His character drops dead instantly, while Olivia laughs maniacally over his corpse. As the squad gathers to enter, the restaurant staff turn pale with terror. Oh no, not them again! Clearly remembering the chaos from last time. The 5 of them stand in the doorway, radiating an aura of impending trouble. The eclectic group marches down the hallway, looking like they walked out of a cosplay convention. Confused patrons stare, and someone whispers an explanation. That's the Guild, a chaotic group of online gamers meeting IRL. Staff complain that this group cleaned out their entire prize ticket supply last time. Just as they demand to see the leader, a massive, towering figure appears behind them. He calmly announces himself, sending the terrified employees scrambling for the exit. Abe watches them flee with disdain. As the guild master and a top-tier druid healer, he commands respect. The group sits down, and even the usually playful Edgar gets serious, asking the big man why he summoned them all here. Abe crosses his arms and drops the bombshell. Their guild just hit rank 3 on the server. Top guilds are begging to ally with them. The tension explodes into pure joy as everyone cheers their hard work finally paid off. Abe gives a special nod to Edgar, the loyal knight tank who holds the team together. After the feast, the vibe shifts to the arcade. On the dance machine, perfect combos flash rapidly. These gamers play to win, even on the dance floor. Dallas gets cocky and jokes that Angela needs a stripper pole. Bad move. She grabs him by the collar, hoisting him up as he screams, "It's a prank!" while 2 kids watch the violence unfold in wide-eyed horror. The kids tell Sam shooter games aren't for girls. She smiles sweetly, says, "Thanks for the tip," and then absolutely obliterates the zombie horde game with dual guns. The kids' jaws drop as she showcases god-tier aim. Amidst the fun, Sam checks her phone. The screen glows with a notification from the developer platform. Account status update. The arcade's noise fades into the background as anxiety instantly grips her. In the noisy arcade, Sam freezes, eyes glued to her screen. That email about her account hangs over her like a dark cloud. The colorful lights of the arcade flicker, but the joy has completely vanished from her face. Nearby, Abe cracks his knuckles in front of a boxing machine. A terrified kid asks him to chill, but Abe deadpans that he's training to fight robot overlords. Seeing the kid's confusion, Abe bursts into laughter. Just a joke. Joke over, Abe gets serious. He winds up, muscles coiling like springs. The kid screams, "Incoming!" just as Abe's fist slams into the bag with a bone-shaking thud, nearly tearing the machine apart. The machine instantly glitches out. Error. At the prize counter, Edgar dumps a mountain of winning tickets onto the poor clown employee. Amidst the chaos, the blonde guy looks around, realizing Sam has completely disappeared. While friends search inside, Sam sits alone in the dark, heartbroken. Suddenly, wham! A giant teddy bear falls from the sky and crushes her. It's Angela. Seeing Sam devastated by the review, she immediately switches to protective mode. "Stop crying! Want me to go break his legs?" Sam feels defeated, ready to quit. Angela grabs her and screams, "You are a game dev! Are you gonna let some narcissist ruin you? Stand up and fight!" The tough love works. Angela reminds Sam of her strength. Sam wipes her tears, eyes hardening. She's done hiding. It's time to confront him. Standing at the neighbor's door, Sam's heart pounds violently. Sweating and trembling, she knocks, steeling herself to face the man who ruined her game. The door swings open, but Sam freezes. Instead of the streamer, a pink-haired woman stands there, hands on hips, annoyed, mistaking Sam for a stalker fan. Chapter 13 Start. Back at the door. Sam is paralyzed with regret, sweat dripping down her face. But there's no turning back now. Before Sam can speak, the woman starts complaining about crazy fans finding the new house so quickly, assuming Sam is just another stalker. Sam stammers in terror. The woman suddenly strikes a pose, radiating confidence, and clarifies she's just the neighbor, not the owner. The confusion deepens. Monica suddenly invades Sam's personal space, fascinated by her complexion. OMG, your pores are tiny! What toner do you use? Sam is petrified. Monica hands over a card. She's a famous beauty guru with millions of followers. While she sparkles with charisma, Sam stands there, completely overwhelmed. Then Marshall appears. He walks out with a face full of heavy boyfriend makeup for a video challenge, furious that he can't scrub it off. Marshall spots Sam, sighs awkwardly, and introduces her to Monica. This is Sam, the neighbor. The heavy makeup on his face just adds to the absurdity. Sam came to fight, but facing a beauty queen and a streamer in drag is too much. She freezes, sweating profusely, unable to form a sentence. Under pressure, Sam cracks and lies. I just wanted to make sure you keep it down tonight. Marshall bursts out laughing, and the tension vanishes. As Monica leaves, Marshall defends Sam. She has social anxiety, let it go. But Monica narrows her eyes, sensing something more going on. In the hallway, Monica connects the dots completely wrong. She's convinced they're secretly dating to hide from fans, and she's thrilled by the drama. Meanwhile, Marshall's guild friends are hanging out. Gentle Giant Abe is worrying about everyone getting home safe, acting like the group mom, while Link teases him. Link tries to light a cigarette, but Abe snatches the pack and crushes it instantly. You're under 18, and that stuff is garbage. Cut it out. Link tries to argue, but Abe hits a nerve. Your dad died of lung cancer. You want that to be you? Link falls silent, the harsh truth sinking in. Marshall shares a touching moment with a guildmate, treating him like family. Then he snaps catch him smoking again, and it's a 500 DKB penalty. The mood whips from heartfelt to terrified. The dream plunges into a nightmare. Amidst the shrill beeping of hospital monitors, desperate parents cling to each other, watching their daughter fight for her life. Sam jolts awake, gasping for air, heart pounding out of her chest. It takes a moment to realize the beeping isn't a hospital monitor, it's just her 5 a.m. alarm. Trembling, she grabs her inhaler and takes a deep breath to steady her nerves. Bowser is there to ground her. She hugs him tight, whispering that it was just a bad dream. A morning walk to clear the head. Bowser thinks he's doing parkour, while two girls nearby gossip about a jogger. Curiosity gets the better of Sam, and she looks over. She freezes. The shirtless, sweaty hunk pounding the pavement is none other than Marshall the streamer who ruined her game. The bystanders are practically drooling over the view. Sam, however, looks like she's seen a ghost, sweating bullets and wishing she could turn invisible. Marshall is in full main character mode, muscles glistening in the sunlight. He strides forward, oblivious to the thirst he's causing on the sidewalk. Sam dives behind a tree just as he passes. The girls aren't looking at his face, though they're loudly roasting his massive, Bigfoot-sized feet. Insecure about his feet, Marshall stops dead. Then he spots a familiar tail wagging behind a tree. Sam holds her breath, praying he'll just keep running. Busted. Marshall flashes a blindingly friendly smile, totally unaware of her panic. Sam shuffles out, stammering awkwardly about the nice weather. She babbles an excuse about walking the dog and getting coffee. Marshall laughs it off and crouches down to make peace with Bowser, breaking the tension. Marshall clears up a misunderstanding. He thinks Sam is worried about his roommate, Monica. He laughs, clarifying they are definitely just friends, not a couple. While Monica is off doing her eccentric hobbies, Marshall seizes the moment. He stops Sam from leaving, his expression turning serious. He needs to talk. Sam lets out a startled scream. Marshall pauses. He recognizes that sound effect from somewhere. But before he can place it, two fangirls nearby clock him. That scream, it's identical to the one in the game. Marshall looks suspicious. But there's no time, the fans are closing in, screaming his name. The fangirl's screams pierce the air, turning heads even on a passing bus. Marshall turns to face the music, leaving a bewildered Sam on the sidelines. The girls are hyperventilating. Marshall confirms his identity and turns on the charm, giving them a little fan service peek at his waistband. Just as they mention his huge feet again, ouch, the fans notice Sam standing there. Their eyes narrow with jealousy. Who is she? Your girlfriend? Sam feels the death glare. Marshall quickly clarifies she's just a friend. The jealousy evaporates instantly, and one fan dives in for a hug, sweat and all. The redhead fan fumes with jealousy before launching into a bone-crushing hug, leaving Marshall grimacing while joking he'll never wash his clothes. Another fan piles on, turning the embrace into a suffocation session. Meanwhile, a distracted Sam bumps into a stranger on the street, stammering an apology. Sam sighs by the window, her mind occupied by Marshall, who is currently basking in the adoration of his fans. Pulling herself together, she puts on sunglasses and marches into the Young Technologies building, greeting the receptionist with a mix of determination and nerves. The delivery guy arrives for pickup, and Lucy, the receptionist, instantly turns into a puddle of goo, flirting openly. Her fantasy gets the better of her, and she blurts out a loud REWR, freezing the room in awkward silence as the confused courier stares blankly. The creeped-out courier drops the package and bolts, but the box knocks over a coffee cup. Dark liquid splashes all over Sam's purple sweater, ruining it instantly. Sam stares at the mess in disbelief, while Lucy snaps out of her daze, frantically asking if she's okay. A retro game interface flashes on screen, mimicking a Let's Play intro. Back in reality, fingers tap away at a device next to a coffee cup, suggesting that a moment of distraction is exactly what led to the upcoming mess. In the break room, Sam stands soaked, trying to salvage her ruined sweater. Lucy trails behind, apologizing profusely. Sam sighs, assuring her the coffee wasn't hot, but the frustration on her face says this is about more than just a stain. Lucy starts rambling about her uncontrollable charm causing men to fumble, leaving Sam bewildered. Then comes the brilliant solution. Lucy suggests Sam take off the sweater to soak it, completely ignoring where they are. Sam turns beet red, gasping, "Take it off? Are you crazy?" She argues that her undershirt is way too tight and revealing. Lucy dismisses her panic, teasing that if she had Sam's curves, she'd flaunt them, which only makes Sam want to disappear. Against her better judgment, Sam takes off the sweater. The office falls into a deathly silence. Male colleagues stare or awkwardly look away. Clad only in a tight tank top, Sam crosses her arms protectively, face burning with humiliation as she endures the gaze of the room. Feeling exposed and vulnerable, Sam screams internally while trying to act normal. When a coworker asks what happened, she forces an awkward laugh, explaining the coffee accident. Since she took the bus, she's trapped here in this outfit for the rest of the day. Just as Sam thinks about borrowing a jacket from her dad, Charles appears, like a grim reaper, summoning her to his office. Once inside, he demands an explanation. Sam stammers out the story of the accident, but Charles coldly dismisses it, citing a violation of office dress code. Charles lectures her on being the director's daughter and representing the company's future, scolding her for not coming to him immediately. Before she can argue, he tosses a white shirt over her shoulders, looming over her with an intimidating demand for professionalism. Meanwhile, the obsessive fans brag to Marshall about avenging him by review bombing the indie game. Marshall's face drops in horror as he screams, "What have you done?" The screen reveals the devastation. The game's rating has been tanked to abysmal 0.3. The comment section is a toxic wasteland of death threats and hate speech. Marshall stares at the screen, sweating profusely, and sinks into his chair with his head in his hands. He realizes his casual critique has unleashed a mob that completely destroyed the developer. Fate is cruel. While her game dreams are being crushed online, Sam is dealing with a different nightmare in reality. She fumbles to button the oversized shirt, Charles's cold lecture about professional image still ringing in her ears. As Sam buttons the shirt, and during Charles's speech about leadership, realization dawns on her. If she's wearing his shirt, what is he wearing? She looks up to find her usually pristine manager standing there in nothing but a pink undershirt. Sam feels like she's trapped in a bad romance manga, blushing furiously. When she asks about a spare, Charles smugly mentions he keeps one in the safe. Sam stares blankly. Then why didn't you give me that one instead of stripping? Charles cracks, shouting in embarrassment, it doesn't matter. Too late now. Desperate to regain control, Charles barks at Sam to get back to work. He immediately dials Lucy, ordering her to send Sam's sweater for dry cleaning and bill the company, his eyes narrowing with a calculated look. Still on the phone, Charles demands the courier company's number. As Sam tries to slip away, he stops her cold, asking if she knows the delivery guy's name. Sam pauses, admitting she does, and was planning to call them anyway. Turns out Charles plans to file a formal complaint. Sam pleads that it was just an accident, but Charles cuts her off, lecturing her on liability and her duty as an heiress. Sam chills as she watches him. He's ruthless, ready to destroy the delivery guy's job for a mishap clearly caused by Lucy's flirting. Charles drills Lucy on what she meant by distracted. When she admits to flirting, his expression turns ice cold. He reaches for the phone to report her, lecturing her on professionalism while she stands there terrified. Sam desperately tries to stop him, arguing that flirting isn't against the rules. Charles ignores her pleas, cold and dismissive. Panic sets in as Sam realizes she might have just gotten her friend into serious trouble. Panic overwhelms Sam as demonic laughter echoes in her mind. She's hyperventilating and shaking, but the thought of her friend Lucy pushes her to face the terrifying confrontation ahead. Overcoming her inner demons with loyalty, Sam finally gets through on the phone. She excitedly calls out Lucy's name, only to hear a sharp click she's been hung up on. The line goes dead. Charles grips the receiver, staring Sam down with an intense glare. He coldly tells her, "I said wait," leaving the room in a suffocating silence. Staring at the call-ended screen, Sam is totally bewildered. Did Lucy just hang up on her? The misunderstanding just got a whole lot worse. Sam switches to logic, arguing that firing Lucy would cost the company too much. She steps up, offering to handle the situation herself since Charles clearly can't keep it professional. Sam threatens to call HR if he doesn't put a shirt on. Instead of backing down, Charles blushes and steps right into her personal space, looming over her until she's frozen with fear. Instead of dressing himself, Charles reaches out and buttons Sam's collar, fixing her up like a doll. He whispers from behind that she finally looks like an airy creepy, controlling power move. Just then, an employee opens the door for Sam's dad. The room freezes. Her father walks in to find his terrified daughter standing next to a shirtless Charles. The misunderstanding is catastrophic. Dad's protective instincts go nuclear. He's already hallucinating a news report where he's arrested for strangling Charles to defend his daughter's honor. The rage is palpable. Snapping back to reality, Dad scoops Sam up, smothering her with hugs and head pats. While acting sweet to her, he's mentally shooting death glares at Charles. Glaring daggers at Charles, Dad lies to Sam that he just came to drop off a sweater. Sam is suspicious. He looks pale and disheveled, totally unlike his usual self since her mom left. Touched by her concern, Dad's heart melts. He forces a confident smile, insisting he's fine, and dramatically marches off to work to hide his vulnerability. Meanwhile, a colleague asks Marshall for a moment. He claims he's focusing on a critical task, but the screen reveals he's just stressing over Minesweeper, which he immediately loses. Sam walks over, wearing Charles's shirt. Marshall instantly recognizes the cologne and cringes hard. But before he can react, she asks if he knows the indie game site Indigeneer, and he freezes in panic. It reveals the damage. Thanks to Marshall's harsh video, Sam's game rating has tanked to 0.3. The comments are brutal, filled with hate and death threats from his toxic fanbase. Marshall stares at the abysmal rating, sweat dripping down his face. Guilt eats at him as he realizes she's just a beginner. He clicks on her contact email, Magi to investigate. The realization hits him like a truck. The developer he destroyed is actually a loyal fan who's been leaving encouraging comments on his channel for 3 years. He looks absolutely crushed. While Marshall spirals over the guilt, she was my fan, Monica bursts in with a thumbnail for their boyfriend makeup collab. Looking at his painted face on screen, the irony of his internet fame stings bitterly. Monica notices something is off. Marshall drops the bombshell. Sam, their neighbor, is the dev his fans destroyed. Worse, she's been a loyal subscriber since day one. The guilt hits him hard. He hurt one of his own. Marshall wants to post a video telling fans to stop, but Monica cuts him off. Fighting the internet mob usually backfires. Sure, some might apologize, but calling them out could open a Pandora's box of hate. The comment section is toxic. Monica suggests doing nothing, but Marshall can't sit still. Even if his fans did it, he feels responsible. He refuses to just watch Sam burn. He has to act. To prove his point, Marshall pulls up Sam's profile. The score sits at a pathetic 0.3. Even Monica is stunned. She didn't know a rating could tank that hard. It's total devastation. Monica realizes the rating system is broken and wants to file a complaint, but they need technical backup. The scene shifts. It's time to grill a programmer who actually understands how this mess works. Freddy drops a hypothetical bomb on his coworker. How do you stop thousands of users from review bombing a product? The question hits way too close to home, and the guy starts sweating bullets. Back in his room, Marshall stops overthinking. He sets up his camera and fires off an email directly to support. He's putting his name on the line. I am Marshall Law, determined to fix the mess he started.